Labdien! Sākam preskon.
Hello, we can start the press conference, and today it will be devoted to territorial cohesion and urban development. And today there was an informal meeting on the subject. And as always, we will start with their introductory speeches. First of all, the Minister of Development, Regional Development and Environmental Issues, Kaspars Gerhards, and also Corina, Commissioner. Gerhard Kungs.
In the informal ministerial meeting today, we talked about the drafting of the EU urban agenda. This discussion was already started during the previous presidencies, taking into account that about 70% of the EU population live in cities and towns. Up to this point, the discussions were held only on the expert level, but today we had the first political discussion involving ministers responsible for territorial and urban development. There were also high-level representatives from the EU and UN institutions. As a result of the discussions, the ministers agreed on the Riga Declaration. This way, the ministers have agreed on drafting of the EU urban agenda during the next presidencies. I was very pleased to hear from colleagues that the Latvian presidency has managed to move ahead the drafting of the EU urban agenda, and I am confident that it will facilitate sustainable development of towns and cities, including not only big cities but also small and medium-sized cities. The adoption of the Riga Declaration is a very important step in drafting of the EU urban agenda because it provides clear guidelines as to how it has to be drafted, what principles have to be respected, what elements have to be included, and what measures have to be taken on different levels of governance. I would like to highlight some of the main points in the declaration. The EU urban agenda proposes the respect for diversity of towns and cities, to focus on the potential of towns, not only their needs, to improve the urban dimension in the EU policies and facilitate the cooperation between different towns. The most important principles in this program, in this agenda, is partnership between the EU member states, the Commission and other EU institutions and partners, subsidiarity and proportionality, common territorial development context, and specificities of national and regional levels. The declaration provides measures to be carried out by the EU member states, the Commission, and also on the regional and local levels. The Riga Declaration also includes statements that recognize the importance of small and medium-sized urban areas. So for the Latvian presidency, this issue is one of the priorities, and for Latvia, this agreement is very important because the majority of Latvian towns are actually small or medium-sized, and the number of population varies between 5 to 50,000. Apart from the declaration, the discussion was also focused on the provisional priorities of urban agenda, and this work will be carried out by or during the next presidencies. It will not be easy because the towns and cities are very different and they face different challenges, and many participants pointed out that it is important to set only a limited number of priorities. The discussion showed that the EU 2020 priorities are still topical: green, smart and inclusive growth. And apart from that, such important issues were highlighted as mobility, sustainable transport, digital issues, smart solutions, innovations, climate change-related issues, town or urban regeneration and revival of deprived neighborhoods, poverty, social inclusion, employment, availability of housing, internal migration in the EU, energy efficiency. On several occasions, it was pointed out that EU urban agenda should serve as a framework that should be related with the implementation instruments. And finally, we also talked about the milestones of drafting of the agenda. It was also pointed out that it's high time to pass from words to deeds, and this declaration and the discussions should serve as an impetus for drafting of the EU urban agenda. Many member states pointed out the essential role of the European Commission, also the Parliament, in drafting of the agenda. On the whole, the member states were committed to participate in further drafting of the agenda. I would like to point out that the next presidencies are going to continue this work, and the next political decision can be expected during the Dutch presidency at the end of May 2016, and will be Netherlands.
Thank you, Minister. The Commissioner, please.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you for organizing this very interesting debate. And ladies and gentlemen, today with our arrangement on the Riga Declaration, we took a new concrete step towards a full recognition of the role of the cities that can play for Europe and its future. And the Riga Declaration means that ministers responsible for territorial cohesion and urban matters are ready to support the development of the EU urban agenda. And it acknowledges the importance of cities to deliver on our European objectives and priorities. This declaration pays particular attention to small and medium-sized urban areas due to the work and ideas given by the Latvian presidency, and becomes an integral part of the EU urban agenda. These cities are the voices of the member states, and they are close, very close to my heart, and I am very happy that nobody is left behind, because it was this fair that this EU urban agenda will address only major city and bigger cities. So I would like to stress this idea that EU urban agenda is for all cities, small, medium-sized and bigger. And we are very much aware that a quarter of our population live in small and medium-sized cities, and they also work as bridges between the bigger cities and rural areas. So from my point of view, the Riga Declaration is almost an historic step towards a full recognition of the role of the city and urban areas, whether big or small, play for Europe and its future. And this declaration, of course, shows also the willingness to move to concrete actions. It is very important for us as European Commission to see this support for EU urban agenda, because that helps us to move and make the agenda a priority for within the European Commission. And it is a great opportunity to make the urban agenda a Commission priority in 2016 and to actually start some pilot actions already these years. So I would like to stress also that the EU urban agenda is not about the EU having new policy competencies. It is about using our existing policies and instruments in a smarter way to ensure that cities can contribute fully to the implementation of Europe 2020. But of course, the EU urban agenda is not only about cohesion policy, it is about how we can best deliver the main priorities of the Juncker Commission, the digital single market, addressing migration or energy union. This essentially means that we have to better coordinate our policies that have on urban impact, and of course cohesion policy will play a central role in this. Together with Latvia, Luxembourg and the Netherlands, we have put on a table a roadmap with key deliverables, actions that will help us define and agree upon concrete objectives and actions. This will be crucial in order to have an operational urban agenda during the Dutch presidency. So with this declaration, And the conclusion we have drawn from our public consultation on the EU urban agenda give us a strong direction where to go. And now, of course, it is up to European Union, European institutions, the member states, the regions and the cities to deliver concrete results. So I would like to thank you once again. It is my third day in Riga. It has been a pleasure. I would like to congratulate Latvia for the hard work they have done during the presidency. And of course, I am looking forward to come back in Riga on a bilateral visit. Thank you.
Jā, liels paldies, komisār.
Thank you, Commissioner and our Minister, and we can finish our press conference. Thank you.